EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for December 11th, 2020. Having some very interesting things to talk about in the video that we actually started talking about a couple days ago, leading up these last couple days. More speculative. Now we're starting to getting a little bit of better idea that there could be something coming in the middle of next week. Stay tuned for that. Okay, we'll get into that in a second. Starting off with today, we're going to have milder temperatures than yesterday. We're getting into the 50s in many locations across the region today. We will start off some areas of fog this morning and maybe even some freezing fog. If temperatures are starting off below freezing in your area, where you could have some slick spots, so be careful for that till the fog burns off, and then skies will become at least partly cloudy with highs, again, in the lower 50s, so it'll be milder today, and then remains mild through the weekend. Looks like we're getting in the low to mid-50s generally everywhere across our region, maybe even mid to upper 50s further southeast, both Saturday and Sunday. But there will be a lot of clouds around, I think, and that's going to be because we have a warm front that's going to be moving toward the region here on Saturday. So mostly cloudy skies with that. I think most of us are going to be absent of precipitation, though. You might get closer to the shore points. You could get some showers during the day here on Saturday, but I think most of us are dry during the day on Saturday. And then once we get into the overnight, just a few showers and a few spots moving through, not real heavy, just more nuisance stuff, and it's kind of like late in the overnight anyway. But looks like this is just a mainly Saturday night deal with any showers, because when we get to Sunday morning, maybe a leftover shower in spots here. So we left a low chance for a shower here on Sunday, but it's only about a 20% chance, and then after that we'll just remain kind of mostly cloudy for the rest of the day, and mostly cloudy conditions continuing overnight, so not really much change there. We do have a system as we move moving off to our south. Now this is the European model I'm showing you here first, and I'm going to show you several as it pertains to the midweek system here, but this is the European model. It was a little bit further north than everything else here and brings some rain showers to our southern areas here on Monday. I don't think that's correct. I think this stays off to our south. We'll watch this closely, though. And don't try cheering this one on anyway, because the cold air hasn't arrived yet. So it's just going to be coming in on Monday. So this is probably a rain event, not a snow event, if that did venture further north. And as you can see, they're indicated by the green colors here. So if this were correct, the southern areas would be rain. Okay, but I think it stays just far enough south as the other models are indicating here on Monday. So we're just calling it cloudy early. This will be Monday morning. Cloudy early, and then clouds giving way to sun later in the day from northwest to southeast as this pulls away. And then we have the colder temperatures settle in. After that, we have highs on near average, basically, on Tuesday. Partly cloudy skies we're expecting, though. And near average highs right around on either side of 40 degrees. So it'll be seasonably chilly here on Tuesday. Now we turn our attention to this next system, and this is kind of interesting. This is a wave moving out of the Midwest here. It's going to spawn a low here off the coast, and right there you can see that low popping here. So these two are going to kind of come together here. You also have a very strong high pressure sitting over the top. Now this is looking at Wednesday, so at some point on Wednesday here, the European model's depiction has this low developing, and this actually low rapidly develops and brings some heavy snow to parts of our area, at least the interior locations northwest of I-95, where would be the highest probability chances right now. The European model does something a little goofy in its evolution today, though, and it dumps a boatload of snow across the interior. And I mean boatload of snow, 18 plus in a lot of areas. I mean, it was crazy. But it's doing some crazy evolution. See where the low position is here? If I move this ahead to the next frame 6 hours later, look how it jumps to over eastern New Jersey, over like Ocean or Burlington County, when the low should continue up in this direction, because the very next frame after that, it is in that direction. So it kind of jumps around there. It has this double-barreled low look, with the low center should probably be right about here, not here. So this changes the precipitation output for the model and assumes a lot of things, and it's not correct. So in this situation, the snow that it was showing, those immense snow totals, are probably not right, okay? But this pulls away, it looks like overnight on Friday night, and that's it. So that's your snow event across the region. And the other ones are not too dissimilar in evolution. Here's the GFS. Has the same situation here with this system merging with this offshore low. The system does develop, but it's a rather weak low here on the GFS this evening, and just brings a modest 2 to 4, 3 to 5 inch snowfall across the region, and that's it, and it quickly moves east. This is a plausible idea, and I'm actually leaning towards maybe not necessarily those amounts, but a generally, not amped system like the European model had. The Canadian model this evening doing something similar to the GFS here. A little bit more moisture with this as far as snow is concerned, but you still get snow here, and it will still be accumulating snow. So I know we're looking at a lot of people were looking at these insane model runs yesterday. They were putting out, 12, 18, 24 inches of snow. Just forget that for now. I'm not saying that can't happen, because it can, but I just don't think that's going to be at the end result. I think the end result is going to be something like a 2 to 4, 3 to 5, 4 to 6 inch type storm, modest storm, moderate, but nothing really crippling. I don't think we're dealing with that next week as looking at this right now. And a lot of things can happen between now and then. Today's only Friday. We're talking about Wednesday. That's 5 days away. A lot of things can happen in 5 days. So we look at our local forecast. It'll say cloudy with snow possible on Wednesday. That's all we have, at least for interior locations. And we're not giving specifics because we can't. We just can't. But I wouldn't don't get excited about these really heavy, insane amounts where, Godzilla type storms. It's probably not going to be that. And I actually did an interesting thing to coincide with this. I did an article with Lehigh Valley Live, since we're a Lehigh Valley based company. So they reached out to me and they were asking me about storms in the Lehigh Valley specifically, since records were kept there since 1944 at Lehigh Valley International Airport, okay, and at ABE. So they were asking me about the storms over the past 75 years, and there was a total of 27 storms that produced 10 inches or more since 1944 when those records were kept. And that's when the Weather Bureau moved in there into the airport. Airport opened in 1929. 1944, the Weather Bureau, which is now called the National Weather Service, moved into they had a station set up there in Allentown. They started keeping official records in 1944. So from that point forward, in 76 years until the present, there's been 27 storms that dumped 10 inches or more of snow. Only one of those storms occurred in December. So that's pretty telling. Your chances aren't really that high to get a big, massive storm in December. Can it happen? Sure. It's not unprecedented. And that particular storm that one time was on Christmas Eve in 1966. Since then, and before that, in recorded history anyway, we have no storms that are over 10 inches. So that's pretty telling that we don't get a lot. The average snow in Allentown is 5.4 inches. Now, it's different across our region here. I'm just using that as an example because we are a Lehigh Valley-based company. I just did this interview with a Lehigh Valley newspaper. So this is all stuff fresh on my mind here. But 5.4 inches is the normal in Allentown. 0.7 fell the other day from that little bit of snow we had officially at the airport. So, if we get 3, 4, 5 inches of snow, you get your seasonal average, you get your monthly average for the month of December. And that's what you can expect typically during this month. So I do think we get some snow, or at least a shot of snow here next week. I just wouldn't put a lot of stock in these big snow totals being thrown out there right now. But we'll continue to update that throughout the week and the week ahead. We have plenty of time to look at this. I think it will be probably until Sunday, Monday, until we get a pretty firm idea, and we start putting out snow maps if needed. But before then, we're just doing a bunch of model watching, model analysis, and we'll continue to do that like we have been doing in the Premium Forum. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchus. That is your outlook for December 11th, 2020. Have a great Friday.